So the Dallas Wings have lost Satou Sabally. Well, she's gone. And in this video, we're going to be talking about whether or not the Dallas Wings should trade the number 1 overall pick after losing Satou. Because there is a big, gigantic hole at small forward, power forward for their team. The problem is the number 1 overall pick is a 1-2. And there is a huge Satou-shaped hole. Actually, to be fair, Maddie Siegrist is pretty decent, but there is a big hole at power forward for some athleticism, for some defense, and maybe the small ball 5 with Tierra McCowan out of the lineup. But we all know what the Dallas Wings need as a team. It's not Paige Bueckers. It's just not. Like, the Dallas Wings, there are players that they need more than they need Paige Bueckers, even though Paige Bueckers is obviously maybe the top talent in this draft. And I say maybe because whatever the hell Olivia Miles has been doing this year is crazy. I'm watching her play right now. Again, a meaningless game. They're winning by 20. She's out here shooting step back threes. So I'm just there like, what is going on? What is happening to Olivia Miles? There's a hot streak, and then there's just consistently just not missing. So yeah, that's the one thing with Olivia Miles, is that she has been playing consistently enough this year that it's really hard to say that she won't be at least a decent shooter at the next level. Like, Paige is going to be a better shooter, but Miles is the better passer. Miles is the true point guard. Miles is more crafty. Miles plays with more aggression. Miles gets her teammates involved better. She processes the game faster. And yeah, that's a tough one. And I think if there's even the slightest bit of doubt on whether you're going to take Paige Bueckers, trade down. Trade down. Do whatever the hell you can to get Kiki Iriafen. Because, I'm not that high on Kiki. And I mean that, but I think if you go to a Chicago, and let's just say hypothetically the Satou deal would be, say, 3-10 in next year's pick. If you go to Chicago and say, give us 3-10 and is any player worth anything other than their 2 rookies? Maybe you be bold with Chicago and say, give us 3 and Angel Reese for 1. Maybe you be bold. And they think about it. They really think about that. If you can get 3 and Angel Reese, and you can go out with Reese and Kiki Iriafen at your 4-5, that's with Maddie Siegrist, Arike Gumbawale, and JC Sheldon, that's a team. Not much rim protection, but that's a team. A lot better than what they had last year. Or you go 3-10, and I'm trying to think, do they have anything else? Screw it. I think they have a pick swap next year with somebody. Get in on the pick swap. Just get in on the 2026 pick swap, whatever that is. Whatever one they have with the Connecticut Sun. Get in on that pick swap. And then suddenly, you've given up Paige Bueckers, but you've got Kiki Iriafen. With the 10th pick, you can get a Cheyenne Sellers. You never know what's going to happen with Sonia Citron. If they're, Sonia Citron could well drop to 10. If it turns out that, if she could go to 10, if it turns out that she goes past 3 to Chicago. If she goes past 8 to Indiana, she probably will drop to 10. Anissa Morrow could be there at 10. Cheyenne Sellers could be there at 10. If you want somebody to kind of almost make up for the page in terms of hype, Haley Van Lith will be there. So it's a weird one. It's a weird one because with Satou leaving, it just depends on what they get for Satou. And with 2025 picks being gold dust, you want as many of them as possible. There is a non-zero chance that, let's just say, the Dallas Wings could come out with, instead of Paige Bueckers, if they really wanted, and this is again, if they really want Kiki Iriafen, you can get Kiki Iriafen. Let's just say Kiki Iriafen 10, and the 10th pick is Cheyenne Sellers, And then you've got the 7th pick too, and that's Sonia Citron. So suddenly you've got your like big point guard defender, secondary ball handler to allow Enrique do a lot of her work. You've got your 3 and D player in Sonia Citron, and then you've got your 4 in Kiki Riafen. And it could hide some of the flaws in Tierra McCowan. It's just something that from a basketball perspective would make sense depending on where they go and make that trade. Or so where they go send Satou. But like if the Dallas Wings are in full rebuild, like that team has got potential to be decent. And it's a likely lottery team in 2026 and 2027. Suddenly you're in 2026 draft and it's like, okay, what do we want to do? Are we going to move off Enrique? Does Enrique want to stay in Dallas? Probably not. Okay, let's take Tania Latson. Let's take this explosive scorer in 2026. We're going to suck in 2026 too. Okay, cool. 2027, give us Juju. Give us Hannah Hidalgo. Give us Booker. Give us one of the... Heck, give us Zhang Jiu if she's that good. So it becomes a situation where it has to at least be discussed, trading the pick, because you're seeing more and more talk about Olivia Miles going number 1, talk about whether or not they should take Kiki Riafen at number 1, just because of who they're losing in Natasha Howard and Satou Sabally. And the funny thing is that none of these conversations would be happening if they had just, instead of taking JC Sheldon, took Angel Reese or Aaliyah Edwards. More so Angel Reese. This conversation wouldn't really be happening. But still, I am very much on the side of doing what's best for your team and not just saying, you know what, let's just take the hyped player. Because you just never know. You just never know what's going to happen. And Paige Bueckers, outside of Caitlin Clark, probably has as much value as any number 1 overall pick since Aja Wilson. So, yeah, that's my opinion on all what the Dallas Wings should do with that number 1 overall pick. I think unless they are 1,000,000% sure in Paige Bueckers, they should trade it. And if Dallas can get 3 first round, this is one of those drafts. These are the best value contracts that are ever going to happen with the new CBA. You have got someone tied down on a $75K, on a contract that averages $85K a year for 4 years, when there are people that are going to be making freaking probably $600K in the next CBA deal. And the more good rookies, if you get 4 good rookies, suddenly you can just go, yeah, we're going to offer 3 max contracts in 2026. Suddenly your team's looking 100 times better. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Can't forget the team also has, again, JC on a rookie contract, Lula Seneschal on a rookie contract. They got Kalani Brown is actually signed through till 2027, so she's on a not bad contract. If you're smart, you let Tierra McCowan walk. But yeah, I think the trade isn't the worst idea in the world, to be honest. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, kind of makes sense for Dallas. But anyway, I'll see you guys.